Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news of how slowing growth is affecting key economies. First up today, China has announced that its foreign currency reserves slipped slightly to just over $3 trillion. And India also said its currency reserves hit a record high for them, $435 billion. In China, their tech sector is feeling the pinch, more so than the rest of their economy. But their tech sector is a very large portion of the Chinese economic activity, surprisingly large. In September, it accounted for just under 28.7% of overall economic inputs. And that was down from 29.4% in August. And in an economy as large as China's, a difference like that is large. In Hong Kong, there's been another night of high violence on the streets after the government extended its bans on umbrellas to face masks and face paint. China's surveillance system won't work on either. Protester fury has been raised a notch in reaction to that and strategic shutdowns of their public transport system. As reported previously, retail sales have fallen sharply in Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong's richest landlord has offered $1 billion Hong Kong in assistance to SMEs, but he's doing it in conjunction with the Hong Kong government's own $2 billion assistance package. In India, they've cut their benchmark policy rate by 25 basis points to 5.15%, which is the fifth straight rate cut they've made in 2019. This is in response to a slowing Indian economy. The American non-farm payrolls report came in weaker than almost all analysts expected over the weekend, at a gain of just 136,000 jobs, and the lowest since 2017 that did not involve the aftermath of a hurricane or a government shutdown. Factory payrolls actually decreased, as did trucking payrolls. Meanwhile, the US trade deficit widened in August, with imports rising faster than exports. The goods deficit is rising while the services deficit is falling. But the politically sensitive goods trade deficit with China has fallen slightly in 2019. All that, however, signals is a rerouting of imports. In Canada, they posted a different result, with exports up, imports down, and a narrowing of their trade deficit. In Australia, the RBA has released its October Financial Stability Review and warned of a growing risk to their growth from a deeper slowdown in the global economy. Also out late Friday was data for August retail sales in Australia, and while they were up, the rise was much more modest than anyone expected. After a $15 trillion tax cut flowed through to consumer pockets, this was a very tame outcome and not what their government was hoping for. The RBA is likely to be concerned as well, bringing closer more official rate cuts, negative rates, or even QE. Gold will start the week at $1,504 an ounce. US oil prices are firmer today, and now just under $53 a barrel. The Brent benchmark is just over $58.50 a barrel, but that's a 5% fall for the week. And the Kiwi dollar is little changed this morning, now at 63.2 US cents. On the cross rates, we're still at 93.3 Aussie cents, and against the euro, we're still at 57.5 euro cents. All this is firmer than this time last week, however, and that puts the trade-weighted index on just 68.6. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.